Have you been made aware that there's a upgrade to Human 2.0? In fact, did you even know that you could be Human 1.0 and not even know about Human 2.0? There's this huge dimensional possibility where you live in a totally different world with a totally different level of satisfaction, joy, peace, and happiness. And maybe you haven't heard about it. Maybe you're stuck in Human 1.0 because that's all you've ever been shown. Well, what is Human 1.0? Well, Human 1.0 is the human that was born into a framework, into a society that had already decided, using ideas from people or that predate you anyway, they certainly weren't your ideas, had already decided how you were going to live your life. You didn't notice it, but you got programmed with other people's ideas of what human life might be. And as Human 1.0, you accepted the program without questioning it. You're not even aware that there is a program. You haven't noticed that if you're in Human 1.0 world, that you are one of a huge number of people, in fact the majority of the species, that do things in the same way at the same time for the same reasons and are concerned with the same limited set of things that maybe they've decided are important. And that's because they are sharing what's important in communicative ways. So we get what's important from maybe our schools, maybe our parents, because are they Human 1.0 or 2.0? We can look at 2.0 in a minute, but are our friends 1.0 or 2.0? And what does the TV suggest we should be? 1.0, 2.0? The reality of Human 1.0 is that it is following an accepted set of ideas. It is having breakfast, going to work, having lunch, going back to work, having dinner, and maybe sitting in front of the TV. And it's about consuming all of the ideas that collectively the humans have decided are good for humans. So there's money, and there's jobs, and there's relationships, and there's fearing death, even though you don't know what it is, and there's living your life out to some sort of pattern. And when somebody comes on TV and says you should eat this, not that, it's about consuming that information and taking action upon it. And in the end, you accumulate these other people's ideas, you read a book, you watch the TV, and you get the consensus, and what you end up doing is following the program. So it says on TV you need to find a partner and live happily ever after. So what are you doing? You're finding a partner and living happily ever after. It says that you need the qualifications to get the good job. So what are you doing? Well, you're staying in school for a disproportionate amount of time. You're learning what everybody else is learning in the same classes at the same time. Not even noticing that if you learnt different things, your capabilities would be way more useful to you than if you learn all the same things. But forget about that. Let's learn all the same things at the same time, and then in order to have a better life, let's stay longer in that conditioning environment. Let's consume more of the same information and action the things that we think are going to get us a better job. And in turn, what does that mean? Well, it means more money, doesn't it? It means that the money is very important, and we are literally chasing the result of the money. We're hoping to find some freedom. We're hoping to find something at the end of this happy life. And if we buy into the marriage and the relationship idea, we've got to find a partner too. We've got to get married. We've got to get a piece of paper from the government that says you two should be together and you're locked together in some sort of agreement and legal construct. And that sounds totally normal, doesn't it? Because you're Human 1.0 And as a human 1.0, you haven't noticed that some of this stuff is a little bit odd. It's other people's ideas playing out in your life, and you're just doing it because you don't see that there's another way to do it. But as you consume these ideas and think about them, make them important, and have all of the same worries as the rest of the population, and then need a holiday like the rest of the population from your life because it's all a little bit too much to manage and it's quite a distraction, it's very difficult, you're overthinking it and you're making it all very, very critical. You cease to realize that there is somewhere else to go. There is human 2.0. Human 2.0 doesn't run on the same program, doesn't consume the ideas and believe they are true, does not decide that the only way to live is the way that you have been given, and doesn't accept necessarily the ideas as being the best ideas or the only ideas or ideas that they've got to comply with. So Human 2.0 has different concerns, does different things, and doesn't consume what is subjectivity, i.e., just opinion, as if it's the truth of human existence. And as Human 1.0 notices that they're in a subjective construct, pretty much like the Matrix that's on the film, they also start to realize that they're running a program, and as they do, maybe they are in a place where they can switch from 1.0 to 2.0. Because in 2.0, you're not thinking about all of the same things as everybody else. You're letting go of the program, letting go of the construct, letting go of what you think you've got to be, do, have in order to be a good human. Because none of that is real. That is an opinion on life. It is not life itself. And as we realize that Human 2.0 is a peeling back, an unlearning, a letting go of the ideas that you've been running your whole life with, as we peel back, that's when freedom starts to come. That's when there's no overthinking and the management of it all gets way, way easier. Human 2.0 is free. Human 2.0 is not overthinking. Human 2.0 is not entrapped in chasing the same stuff as all the other Human 1.0s and running away from all the same stuff as the 1.0s. Human 2.0 is happy and peaceful because it is not running a program anymore. And Human 2.0 becomes aware of their own existence, past the veil of the ideas that have been ruling their lives. So Human 2.0 is a different dimension of living. It's just not the same place.